Hello, and welcome back to the Preppy podcast. I'm so thrilled you're here and have another fabulous episode for you. So this week I'm talking with the founder of Lippa, who makes the most amazing chapstick. I discovered them on Instagram and then had them at some of my Camp Preppy retreats, and I truly can't get enough. It feels so great. It has a great subtle scents, and it does heal your lips. It's amazing. So I love chatting with her to find out exactly how she developed this, some sneak peeks of what's in the future. It was just such a great conversation. And like I said, I actually always keep this in my purse because I truly love this product. But before we get into the episode, I wanted to let you guys know that you should totally join Club Preppy, which is our monthly membership. We do at least one virtual event per month. So this past month, we did bracelet making, and we did a hosting and a summer crudité dip and display workshop. And this coming month, then we also have one on entertaining, some tips for the 4th of July and just summer Americana style with some recipes, and tablescaping details and tips from the Southern Discourse, as well as we have a tasting with Hapsy. You remember I had her on the podcast a few years ago, so can't wait for those. And of course, we have fabulous ones each month. Members also get part of a private group chat where everyone shares like their preppy finds, supports each other. It's just a great conversation and group. And then finally, they get a little gift in the mail each month. So we've done twillies, we've done hats, we've done tote bags. They're all super preppy and very cute pieces. So definitely go to thepreppypodcast.com and join Club Preppy. It's a great group. You guys would love to be a part of it. You don't have to own a business. You can own a business if you want. It's really for just anyone that loves a preppy lifestyle. Then finally, we still have tickets available for our Camp Preppy Colorado and one left for Kennebunkport, Maine. So get those there as well at thepreppypodcast.com. And I've been trying to build a following over on YouTube. I've heard a lot of you guys love watching these podcast episodes instead of just listening to them. So if you go to our YouTube channel, just search the Preppy Podcast or Patricia May Olson, and it'll come up. Be sure to subscribe, and you can watch these interviews over video, which is super fun. So let's get into this week's episode. Okay, so why don't you first let everyone know who you are, where you live, and what you do?
Yes, so I'm Meredith, and I am the founder of Lippa Lip Balms. We're based in Bluffton, South Carolina, and these are some of our lip balms. So they're just like standard, really great, really effective lip balms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the branding is so cute. If anyone attended Camp Preppy, they would have received them. And I just think they're like so chic. I love putting them in my purse or, in my pocket. I'm someone I need something on my lips constantly, and I like to feel moisturized. So they do a great job of that, but also the branding is just so fabulous, I have to say.
Yeah, I love the name. My mom actually came up with the name. That was like a problem I had in the beginning. I was like, I don't know what to call this.
Yeah.
And she actually said, she was like, I woke up in the middle of the night and it just hit me, Lippa. And I was like, I actually love that. That's really cool. So that's how the name, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So tell me a little bit about you as a kid growing up. It sounds like you're close with your family, but like, what was your childhood like? Were you someone that was entrepreneurial or super creative? What were you like as a kid?
Yeah, so I actually to me it's no surprise that I ended up starting my own business because I always said from a young age that I wanted to have my own business and I wanted to like build something from the ground up. So it's funny that I'm here because it's exactly what I wanted. I just never expected that it would be like a skincare brand.
Okay.
But yeah, so I definitely was creative growing up. Like I always had like a camera on me. I love music. Like I definitely love the arts. And I was actually a freelance photographer before Lippa.
Okay.
Yeah, so from like 2018 to 2024, like that's what I did.
Cool. So then when it came time for college, where and what did you study? Was it like photography or arts or business, or tell me about that?
No, so yeah, like I'm born and raised South Carolina. So I went to College of Charleston and I majored in historic preservation and community planning because that was like the closest thing I could get to interior design there. So again, always loved like the design realm. So out of college, I got a job with an interior designer and I was there for about like a year and a half. And then I got the photography bug.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? I love the idea of photography. Like I can work for myself, make my own schedule, and then I can work on the long term thing, even though I did not know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out perfectly because it was like 2 years into photography when I had the idea for Lippa. So I was
Okay.
kind of juggling both for a little while.
Very cool. So, when the photography bug hit you, like, what type of photography were you doing for those years before Lippa? Was it like interiors photography since you kind of had that background, or was it more like people and weddings? And how did you develop your photography skills? Were you taking classes or just like YouTube and experimenting?
Yeah, so I was just like a family photographer.
Okay.
I did a little bit of interiors, like real estate photography. And I did not do weddings. That was like one thing I was like, that's too stressful. Like I do not want weddings.
Totally.
So yeah, I just kind of stayed in like the family photography and couples, and I was just self-taught. A lot of YouTubing, a lot of trial and error. So I was like fully in with photography. Like I never took an official class. Um, and then yeah, so I just built it from the ground up, and like I did okay. Like I would not call myself like a master or a professional photographer by any means,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was fun. I really loved it, and I still love it. I still carry around my camera everywhere.
Totally. I mean, I think photography is such a great skill to have, like owning your own business, or even just like for personal use. So I think, regardless, if you ended up doing anything with it later, I think having a business like that's something I wish. Like, I have a nice camera and I've taken a photography class, but I did not stick with it. And I'm like, it's so complicated, it's so hard, all of that. But like, how nice would it be if I could take my own pictures?
Yeah, like it is hard. There's a lot more to it. Like it's I think we all have an eye for it, but to like execute the shot with the lighting and everything, there's definitely a lot to it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I almost feel like it's a little bit of science with like the aperture and the light, like letting more light in, like the mirrors and the lenses and all of
It can
that.
be frustrating too. Like I would go on sessions and I would be like, it just didn't turn out how I wanted to sometimes.
Yes.
So
Yeah, and sometimes it's out of your control. It's like the natural light not working with you and things like that.
totally. That's why like with Lippa, I have people that do that. I'm like, I can't handle the stress of that. So we have like product photographers and videographers and lifestyle photographers for Lippa. So I'm like,
Yes.
y'all do it. I cannot.
So, and then tell me about Lippa. Like, when you got the idea for it, and sort of how, like, what was that light bulb moment like?
hmm Yeah. I struggled with like dry chapped lips my whole life. I have used like every single lip balm there is, and it never worked. And for a long time, I just thought that that was like normal. I was like, oh, I just have really dry lips.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that like that was as good as it was going to get. And as I got older, though, I started to like really care. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I'm investing so much money and trying all these different lip products, lip treatments, lip masks, just lip balms, and they just didn't work for me. So it was the summer of 2020. And I just remember so clearly. I was with my mom and I actually told her, I was like, this is crazy. I'm just going to make my own.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, do it. But at the time, it was just about like finding something that worked for me. And then like the next time I thought of it, I was like, this could be an interesting business because if it's going to work for me, it's going to work for others because I'm like a worst case scenario. And
Okay.
so ever since then, it was like this idea just formed, and I just felt so compelled and drawn to it. I was like, I really want to figure this out. And so I spent the next few months like researching like what's typically in lip balms, like why don't they work? And it was Christmas Day 2020 when I made my first batch, and
Uh-huh.
it worked so well. Like I was stunned. It like instantly I had relief, like the inflammation started to go away, it started to heal. Like I have before and after photos. Like I took a total of 4 pictures of before and during the process. And over
Uh-huh.
the course of, I think it was like 48 hours, night and day difference. Night
Wow.
and day difference. Like it shocked me. I was like, this is crazy. Like this is what I've been looking for.
Uh-huh.
So that really gave me like the fire to like pursue this. I was like, okay, I can figure this out. It definitely took a long time though. It took me like 3.5 years total to
Wow.
fine tune and tweak the right formula.
Okay.
And over that time, I actually worked with 2 different cosmetic formulators.
Okay.
So like how companies do it, they'll have like labs
Hmm.
that will do the formulating. So like those are like trained chemists
Yeah.
that like know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so I worked with 2 different ones because I wasn't a trained chemist. Like I don't have a background in this.
Yeah.
And it just never, they would send me products of like, I would tell them like the ingredients and the textures that I'm looking for and how I want it to perform. And it just was never right. Like I would get it and I would be like, no, like after one application, like I know that this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So I finally was like, okay, I've got to figure this out. So I dedicated like a month to just trying different formulas, tweaking it, and eventually I settled on what is now our formula.
Okay.
Um, and it's nothing crazy. It's just about like the certain ratios. So like that's something we're known for. We only have 4 ingredients in our
Wow.
lip balm,
Uh-huh.
which is not pretty common. So it's just beeswax, lanolin, olive oil, and sweet almond oil. That's it.
Wow.
But what really was the tricky part for me was finding like the different ratios that I wanted for each one
Okay.
so that it had the texture and the performance that it has. Because
Okay.
like I'm sure like you've everyone's tried like a bunch of lip products.
Yeah.
Like some you put on and they're like too waxy. They'll like clump on your lips and you're like trying to like wipe it off. Or
Yeah.
they're like really oily. And so you feel like it's like draining on your face or into
Yeah.
your mouth, like you can taste it. And it doesn't last long. But
Yeah.
ours, it's like the perfect combo of wax and oils. So it just, you put it on and it's just this nice creamy coating and it lasts a long time and it actually makes your lips feel good. So like it's just not rocket science. Like it's doing what a lip balm is supposed to do.
Yeah, but I mean, it is science in the formula, right? To figure out the ratios. How did you find like your manufacturers and your chemists for the formulas? Like, was that just Google? Was that word of mouth? How did you even discover them?
I know, yeah, that was and still is honestly a really difficult part of the business
Mhm.
because, like I've said, I don't have a background in this. I don't know anybody that does this.
Yeah,
Like, so I don't have connections, I don't have resources. So it was definitely all in the beginning. It was a lot of like get on Google and see what you can find.
yeah,
And I remember I would like in the first few months of like trying to figure all this out, like I would sit at my computer and I would be like, okay, let's like research. And I wouldn't even know what to research. So
mm,
like when I first started, I didn't know that there were like cosmetic labs and formulators that would do this for you.
yeah.
So I just started like looking into companies, like particularly lip balm companies, and I
Okay.
was like, like the big ones that we all know, like they've got to have people that do this for them.
Mhm.
So it was just like Googling and finding keywords. I eventually stumbled across cosmetic formulator and I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So I looked into that. It's like, okay, it started to like make sense. Like I
Mhm.
started to understand how it all worked.
Yep.
So then it was like once I had the keyword, then I had to find that person that was going to do it for me.
Okay.
And a lot of them, like, they didn't really want to work with someone small like me, which I understand. Like, they have these big clients, so I would ask, like, okay, like, totally understand, can you refer me to somebody that might would? So just like it felt like just like cold calling and just like talking to someone that was willing to give me information, because again, I had nothing to go on. I did
Yes.
not know what I was doing. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna ask. Like, just ask. The worst they can say is no, I can't help you. Bye.
Uh-huh. I think that's so smart. And I've heard other people too on the podcast who maybe they had a fashion or clothing business. And same thing, like if the manufacturer or, producer says no to you, then asking them for who might be a better fit, who handles, smaller batches. Because I'm sure something like a chapstick, requires a lot of minimums, right? And I feel like that probably was a big hurdle for
It
you,
does.
finding that.
And but one of the biggest issues that I ran into was not only was there a minimum, but they wanted to own your formula. So,
Oh,
and I did not want that,
yes.
because then I would
Wow.
have like no control over that. So
Okay.
that was an interesting aspect too, because they would try and sell you on it. Like, yeah, but you could buy it out eventually. Sure, for a lot of money that like
Yes.
you don't know how Lippa is going to go. So I felt like that was definitely not what I wanted. I did not want to get locked down that way.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I didn't even think about that. I mean, that's your formula's the whole thing of what makes a difference. So giving that away, I feel like is a huge risk.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah.
this is Lippa. Like, it's
Yeah.
all about the formula. I don't want anybody to own it. And
Yeah.
yeah, so like another thing, you'd reach out to manufacturers and they don't really tell you certain products they've developed because it's all like under an NDA.
Yeah.
So it was hard to like find reputable people because I couldn't tell like what exactly have you formulated, you know?
Yes.
So that was a tricky part too.
So then tell me about the flavors, because I know they come in a couple different flavors and different colors then for marketing. How'd you come up with what those would look like?
Yeah. So I remember when I started Lippa, I didn't really want to do like a ton of flavors.
Hmm.
I was more interested in pursuing like lip care essentials. And I remember it was my digital strategist who kind of like helped me get off the ground with like emails, marketing, and things like
Yep.
that. And she was like, you really need to launch like another flavor with your fragrance free. Cause that was the first lip balm I focused on, was just fragrance free. So
Okay.
no scent, no flavor. And I was like, "Ah, okay. So I did some research, and obviously like I've used lip balm too. And I felt like a popular one was peppermint.
Hmm.
And so I was like, I think I'll do fragrance free and peppermint to start. So we launched those two at the same time.
Okay.
And then, like right off the bat, we would get comments, and everyone's asking for like other flavors. And I was like,
Hmm.
oh my gosh, like it took me so long to launch these two.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so people like flavors. Like, I was never really a flavored lip balm girl. Like, I always wanted just like the generic, no fragrance. But I was like, okay, well, this isn't about just me. Like, I need to like the product, yes, but it's also about like what do your customers
Yeah.
want. So that's been an interesting part of this, like learning how to read customers and give them things that they'll want and
Hmm.
like. So anyway, we launched with the fragrance free and the peppermint.
Okay.
And then I wanted to play around with like a limited edition drop to see like how people would respond to it. And so that one was espresso.
Okay.
And espresso, it was really and still is very popular. I have a feeling we'll be keeping that on like our collection all the time,
Yeah.
but it is technically still a limited edition. And then our latest drop is strawberry.
Ooh.
So yeah. Yeah, I
That
feel like
sounds good.
strawberry has gotten a lot of good feedback. So
Okay.
we already have like a pretty good range of
Hmm.
flavors.
Yeah. I feel like they're all so different too.
Yes, I think so too. And like so like the espresso, I wanted that to be like seasonal so that we launched that I think in like September of last year, so like gearing up for fall and like the cozy season.
Yeah.
And then strawberry, like springtime and strawberry season. So it's fun, kind of like launching the flavors around like the seasons and like creating a story around the lip balm.
Yes.
But that's another fun aspect about our lip balms. We use organic flavoring,
Okay.
so they're not loaded with like alcohol and other irritating ingredients. So our flavors are like they're very subdued. Like it's not overwhelming. Like I've never liked that. So like that's how I make Lippa. Like I want it to be very subdued and like they smell like the actual thing.
Yeah.
Like espresso, it's not overwhelming and it's so good. Like it's just
Yeah.
very subdued.
I have to say, because I have the espresso and I do not like coffee. Like, I'm a pumpkin spice latte. Like, the only kind of coffee I like is something that doesn't taste or smell like coffee. So
That's
normally
true.
I don't love like a coffee smell, but with your espresso, it's like so subtle and nice. I really like it.
Yeah, it is. Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Um, I think it's smart doing limited like flavors or scent drops, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of with Haley Bieber and Rhode. I know she leans into that a lot. I'm curious, is there anyone like you look up to or admire their business, similar to like a Haley Bieber maybe, or anyone like
It's
that?
funny that you bring up Haley Bieber and Rhode because they've obviously been like a huge success.
Yeah.
It was like 20, I think they launched that company in like 2021 or 2022. And one of their like most popular products is their peptide lip treatment.
Yes.
And like people were raving about it. And I actually like this was before we launched and I was trying to get Lippa off the ground. That actually like sent me into a spiral because I was
Oh,
like not in a bad way,
yeah.
but I was just like, how are we going to compete? Like, she's Haley Bieber. She has this platform. I have none of that. Like, how are
Yeah.
we going to compete? And it was actually that uh, moment where I decided that we were going to be a unisex company. So I wasn't targeting just like females 18 to 35. Like,
Uh-huh.
I wanted this to be for everybody. As far as like people I look up to, I there's no one in particular. Like I definitely pay attention to other like skincare brands and
Okay.
see like what are they doing? Like what are their drops like? Like what products are they doing? What merchandise? Um, so yeah, I pay attention to Rhode, and I pay attention to other like specific like lip balm companies, and
Yeah.
there's not a ton that focus just on lip care, right?
Yes.
Like there's a lot of skincare companies out there that have lip products, but they're not like a lip balm brand.
Yeah.
So I've found some cool companies like Kobe's is I think a good lip balm brand. Poppy and Pout. Have you ever seen their lip balms?
I haven't, no.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
like I've seen them like in Anthropology. Like they're
Oh,
pretty popular.
yeah.
Yeah, so, like I pay attention to like what other people are doing, but honestly, I really try and not get too caught up in what others are doing because I feel like you can easily lose sight of your own
Yeah.
company and like you don't want to like copy and get inspiration like from what they're doing. Like you want it to be unique in what you're doing. So yeah, I
No,
pay attention, but I try
that's so
not to get too
true.
caught up in it. Yeah,
And I think, like you mentioned with Rode, I do think you have like such a different product. Like there are two different products
totally.
completely. But I think it is smart that yours is unisex. I never thought about that, but it makes total sense. And I think that's smart because my husband is not someone who's going to be buying chapstick or any lip product, but he will take mine. And so I feel like if it's a product that's unisex and appeals in that way, then he doesn't feel weird taking that. Like he's not going to take Hailey Bieber's lip gloss, like her peptide. It looks so girly. And yeah.
Yeah, so like going unisex, it was like, okay, it actually like at the moment I had to like it changed a lot because I was working with at the time our graphic designer who was in the process of like literally building our brand, like figuring out our logo, our colors. And at the time, I was focusing on just like females 18 to 35 because like that's where I am. So like
Yeah.
that's what I know. So that changed a lot. We had to like we changed some of our fonts, our colors to make it more appealing to guys too.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal, but I was like, you know what? I actually like this. Like, I don't want Lippa to be a trendy company. I want it to be more of like a staple piece, like something classic, like dependable and approachable. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that I think we always would have gotten there. But yeah, it was funny that it ended up being road and me panicking that got us.
That is such an interesting story. Now tell me about marketing. Like, how have you got the word out? How have your customers found you? Like, what's worked really well?
Yeah. Um, that's been a learning curve for me because as I've mentioned, I don't have a background in any of this. So for years I've been so focused on like the lip balm and the product that I didn't really think about how I was going to sell it. So that's been a learning curve. A lot of it is word of mouth. Like that you cannot go wrong with word of mouth. Like we get I'm from like a small town,
Uh-huh.
so luckily everyone's been like very supportive and they buy like in bulk and they hand out to like their family and their
Oh,
friends. Like they go
yeah.
to work and they'll hand them out. So that I mean that alone has been huge for us. But as far as like the marketing side of it, just having a good presence on social media, which again was difficult because I was running everything. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay, how do I run Lippa and run social media? But I do have some help now, which has been a game changer for me. But just social media and learning about like meta ads. Meta
Yeah.
ads are crazy. So we just started running that last week. And that already like I have an app, so anytime I get an order I can see.
Yes.
And when we started running meta ads, like suddenly we were getting orders from like all over the country.
Oh,
So
amazing. Yeah.
it's so fun to see like I'll get a notification and I'm like, oh, this person just bought 3 strawberry and they're from Connecticut. Another person bought one of each and they're from Las Vegas. I was like,
Uh-huh.
this is so cool to like people are finding us.
Yeah.
So we're definitely, it's going to take time to build. We're still new. But yeah, the word of mouth and the meta ads are working good so far. So we're definitely going to keep pursuing that.
Yes, that's so smart. And I think, it sounded like you invested in someone to handle your graphics and logo. And I think that's so important, those visuals, especially with social media and like having a beautiful website. So it sounds like that also was kind of part of the marketing mix, which is smart.
Definitely. Yeah. Like I wanted from the beginning, I wanted someone to handle that, like a graphic designer who knew what they were doing. Because I wanted it to look good. I wanted it to look professional. And I come from an artsy background, so I was interested in that anyway. So that was like a fun part of building Lippa. It's like finding the logo and the color scheme and all of that. But yeah,
Definitely. And speaking of customers, then, who would be a dream customer for you? Like, or a dream, like, representative of Lippa? Like, who would be your ultimate?
ooh, good question. Um, I really love everyday people using this.
Yeah.
and I know that's not exactly what you asked, but
If you had to pick a celebrity.
everybody's the dream customer. No, but I would love to. We are working on an SPF lip balm.
Oh.
I don't know how long it's going to take us, but it is in the works. And I would love to be able to target like sports teams and to get Lippa out in that way too.
Yes.
So I don't know exactly how all of that would work, but I picture Lippa just being like a staple everywhere.
Mhm.
So yeah, just everybody.
No, that's a sweet answer. Now, since this is the Preppy podcast, I always ask everyone, what does Preppy mean to you? So, how would you describe Preppy?
Oh my gosh. I loved when you first reached out to me. I was so excited because
Oh,
I was like, who is Patricia? Who is Preppy Podcast? But I went to your socials and I just immediately loved what you're doing. And so like for those who don't know, we've done two retreats together where I've sent Lippa, and that's been so cool. Like sending Lippa with you to go on these retreats.
oh,
I love that we were able to be a part of that. So yeah, I've enjoyed like following along on your socials, and like you're always doing stuff. You're always planning something. Something's always coming up. So
yeah.
it's fun to follow along.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I've loved having Lippa part of our Camp Preppies in Dallas and the Hamptons. And it worked out really well with the themes because for Dallas, it was Galentine's themed, and some of the events and logos had espresso martinis, so we had the espresso part of that, and then for the Hamptons, we had your beautiful blue one, which that's the original flavor, then, right? Like the non peppermint. Yes, thank you. And so that, like, just like color wise, went perfectly with like the coastal grandmother.
But yeah, like picture of grandmother and like the hydrangeas. Yeah, I love that. I know that's been fun to collab in that way. Yeah.
For sure. For listeners who are looking for like something they can take away, is there a resource, like whether it's a great book you've read, a great newsletter you subscribe to, someone you follow, or a group you're part of, like any resource you can share with people?
Like I said, I try not and pay attention too much to what others are doing because I feel like everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, something that I really loved to do was listen to the Founder podcasts. Do you know Founder?
I don't think I've listened to that one.
Yeah, they're really great. They're pretty big now. I think they're based out of Australia, but they interview founders and startups, and it's always like focusing on the success story, right? So I've always found it interesting to see like, okay, this person has built this wildly successful company. Like, how did they do it?
Mm-hmm.
And that was something I really loved because it was always inspiring. Like, because a lot of the times I feel like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out as I go. So it was always like inspiring and like motivating to like keep going, like hearing people that also like don't know what they're doing. They just
Yeah.
figured it out. So I was like, okay, you're not necessarily supposed to know what you're doing then.
I was just going to say that no one knows what we're doing. Like, no one knows what we're doing at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, okay, I must be on the right track then because nobody knows. So yeah, I love the Founder podcast. Anything that like can make you feel inspired because it's really easy to quickly get like run down and discouraged because
Yeah.
like this is tough. Like any type of business, it's tough. Doesn't matter what it is. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have good days and bad days. So like however you draw inspiration to be like, okay, I had a moment, but this inspired me to like keep going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to check out that podcast.
Yeah, Founder, they're great.
Okay, I love that. Any other sneak peeks? I know you mentioned that you were working on an SPF, Lippa. Anything else you want to share sneak peeks, things that people can check out?
Yeah, so we have the rest of 2026 planned out,
Ooh.
and we're launching something in June,
Okay.
and we have our photo shoot for that this weekend actually.
Okay.
So I'm really excited. So like this week, that's what we're doing. Like we're
Okay.
getting everything together, props, making sure the location is set. So I'm really excited. This is our first photo shoot where we've shot outside. So far, we've just done like in studio.
Uh-huh.
So it's been interesting. There's like a lot more logistics to shooting on location. But yeah, so that's what we're doing this weekend. So I think in about a month we'll start like teasing that drop.
Okay.
So follow us on Instagram. We'll start
And this
dropping
would
some
be like another scent, possibly, or no, something completely different.
another flavor.
Okay, I love that. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. So, final question is where can people find you? Let them know your website, social media handles, all of that so that they can shop, they can support you and follow along.
Yes. Oh, that's great. Yes. So our website is lippaskincare.com, and our Instagram is at Lippa Lip Care. And we do have a TikTok as well. And that one's, I think, Lippa Lip Balm.
Perfect. Well, this was so great. I'm so happy we got to chat today. Thank you so much for listening to the Preppy podcast. I hope this put a little prep in your step for the day. Please subscribe, rate, and review on wherever you listen to your podcast, and follow along with @the Preppy Podcast on social media.